Are you coming in?
I'm technician.
Muted.
Wow. Why is it not? Should be muted. Unmute the queen.
I am unmuted.
Right here.
Oh.
I mean.
Oh, you can hear me now.
Oh, people can hear?
Oh, nice.
Okay, cool.
Okay, bye. Thanks.
See, it was me. I helped you.
Andrew, my husband, likes to say he's my sound technician, but I don't know what was happening. I wasn't actually muted. That wasn't me. Okay, so welcome, guys. I was just saying that I'm super excited to go through mechs with all of you. I know you guys saw our trailer just at the beginning of this. You saw us tweet about it earlier. We've been building mechs for so long. You've been collecting mech parts for so long. As you know, we launched CyberBrokers in March of 2022. And it's been a journey even before we launched, but ever since. Really quickly, we launched with the 3 pillars of content, collectibles, and experiences. And in that experience category, we started quests. As you all know, we had quests happen over, a 7-month period where everyone was collecting these mech parts and wondering what it would lead to. And now finally, over this past month, we've shown you what they're going to lead to. We are literally bringing the metaverse to life. And we have mechs that you'll be revealing their parts, and you will be able to compile or bring those mechs together in February to make a full mech that will be 3D rigged, ready to bring into the metaverse with you. So I'm super excited. I'm going to introduce Mike. You all know and love Carterell, who came from our community, is now our community manager, and he's going to help me MC the whole event.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
It was funny. It was the door. The moment Andrew opened the door, the voice worked. So the
good thing is that now people know that I wasn't actually on mute because it worked before you even touched my computer, right? So
yeah. So I understand there's some giveaways that are going to happen today. Could you tell us about those?
Yes, there are giveaways. I actually have a hat next to me with paper in it of the giveaways, but we have please like and quote retweet the pinned CyberBrokers tweet right now. It's the Mech Reveal live video announcement, and say why now is the best time for someone to join the community. So that's how you enter in the giveaway, and then we'll be giving away all of those bundles at the end of the stream. So we have some exciting parts to give away.
Awesome. I'm so excited. Everyone's been revealing live. We're going to take a live look at that. We've got some guests that we're going to have come on and do some chit chat, right?
Yes.
So could you talk a little bit about where the idea from Mechs came from?
Yeah. So
how far back did it go?
It went really far back. So when we actually started releasing the storyline for CyberBrokers, really quickly, we started hearing about Spice's mech, Judgment. And you hear this is how she travels around TPL. She's in her cockpit, and really early on in the chapters, you see this really intense visual of her and her cockpit and Ken and his and all of these different things of how you're getting around TPL. So we built this in from the start that we really wanted to be able to have mechs be sort of this, just as CyberBrokers was a really big, innovative, groundbreaking thing, storing everything on chain, and the way we did that launch, we wanted mechs to be that version for our experiences category for gaming. So we knew we wanted to be these to be 3D. We knew we wanted to literally bring the metaverse alive and for you to be able to walk around in these. So they started right after CyberBrokers launch. So we've been working on these for quite some time, the past 10 months.
Yeah, I think people are starting to finally understand what's coming and the amount of work that went into it. And I don't want to spoil too much, but they'll start seeing that here. How are you loving the community reaction today in Discord? Just seeing people, going all off on their experiences.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's so nice to just like with CyberBrokers, be cooking on something for so long, have so much thought that went into behind each and everything, and to be able to show that little trailer video that we did today. and for people to actually be receiving these. I'm extremely excited, and I cannot wait for in a month from now in February, we are going to have the site go live where you can actually assemble your mechs. So that's what I'm like overly excited about, is to see how people actually end up mixing and matching their mechs, because you obviously don't need all of one style.
Yeah, so let's talk about that quickly, because this is Mech Part Reveal. So you're getting to see, exactly what style. There's some other stuff we're going to cover of what they got, but can you talk a little bit more about where this is going? What's the end game for mechs?
Yeah, so mechs, like I said, they're in 3D. And what that means is a whole lot of things. It means that when we launch mechs, they will come with different file formats. The metaverse is still a very new thing. Virtual environments, AR, all of the experiential things that you can do on the internet is still a new thing. So we've worked through a lot of things that there's no current standard for the metaverse, right? Or in a lot of ways there's not. So we've worked through ways to how to make this as easy as possible for anyone joining us. So mechs will have a 3D totally rigged asset that you can bring into a Blender, a Unity, wherever you want to play with it. If you are like on the technical dev side and pose and do really cool shots or animations. So we have really, really high quality for those sorts of people who want to render, these really beautiful cinematic things. But then we also have to think of all the file formats for web-based virtual worlds, or even client download virtual worlds. They all take something different. So we have loaded these folders with VRM files, which I'm not technical, so you guys will have to tell me later what actually VRM actually stands for. But VRM files, so they can be used on web in like a Webaverse or a Mona or something like that. And then we also have high quality FBX files and GLB files. So there's all the different file types for all the different types of things that you would want to do with a mech, depending on where you fall in that category. Oh, you're muted, I think.
Yep, sorry. The other important part is you can custom create it. So you're choosing the parts to make your specific mech you want, right?
You not only custom create the parts that you put together, you can also customize each of those parts. So we have, some have more, some have less, but there's an area on each part that is an accent color that you can actually choose your accent color. And it's on a per part basis. It's not even on the full mech basis. So you can get extremely detailed and make exactly what you want.
Yeah. So as part of the tweet contest, we're asking people to say, why is a good time to join CyberBrokers now? And my personal one is, where else can you create a custom mech exactly the way you want it with so many different options? That's the number one for me right now.
For sure.
Okay. Are we ready to look at mech styles? Because I think those got released too, right?
Yes. So we launched a page on our website, Mech Styles, and we have the 50 in order there. And what I mean in order, right now we're going from Enforcer all the way to Nexus. And the way that it works is at the top, they're going from the more common of that model to the rarest of that model. So the ActionBot 3000 is the most common of the Enforcer. And then the rarest of the Enforcer is, I don't want to be wrong. Yeah, the Sentinel. So those are all Enforcers, and they go in order in their category from the most common to the most rare in that category.
Okay. And do you want me to share the number of styles per model?
That would be awesome. Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure if you caught that in the doc yet. So there are 12 different styles of Enforcers. There are 11 Ravagers, 10 Behemoth, 10 Lupus, and 7 Nexus. So there's plenty of options, right?
So many options. Also, someone in the chat said that they were going to name their mech Cartarl 3000, and I just love that. I needed to tell you.
Oh my God. Please use Mike. They'll have a much better time. Do you want to pick one and chat about it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about more of these when the guests come on too, but just really quickly, I mean, it's really interesting to even look at the mechs that we started with versus some of the mechs that we finished with, and we started with more of the enforcers and everything, and then we let up. And some of the earliest ones that we concepted were like the Forgotten Friend, the Neko-chan, the Horror, the Dead Point. Some of those were some of our earliest ones, and then some of our later ones like Amalgam, which is this crazy melted mercury looking one. Neko Growl, I love Neko Growl. That's one of my personal faves. Fathom, we really wanted to dive into like so many different styles and really have something for everyone. So it was a process, and you guys will see as you're revealing them, you'll be like, oh, what does this arm go to? Because you just see the part when you reveal on the card, and you can go look at the style page and see what that full mech would look like, and you can see how you would mix and match it with a different mech.
And actually, I'm glad I picked this one. This is the one in the trailer, right?
Yes.
Okay, you recognize the eyes, I think.
Yeah. And so for this one, for example, the light blue areas, that is the accent color for that one. So you would be able to customize what those light blue areas would be on your mech to be a red or a white or a black or whatever you'd like. And then the actual like blue glow, like the glowing areas on this is what your afterglow will be. Yeah.
And then we can actually, well, we'll wait for that. Never mind. We've got to do this in sequence, right? We can't go out of sequence because otherwise it won't make sense. Okay. Anything else you want to cover on the 50 mech styles? I'm sure everyone in chat is like going, oh my gosh, there's so many.
Yeah, no, they're excited. No, I think that's about it. We'll probably get more into it once we get our guests on and see what they pull.
Okay. So it's time for a live look. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Okay. So I need to reload here. This is the OpenSea Mech Revealed part page. Surprisingly, OpenSea isn't showing activity. So we will just pick from here. So we're just going to pick one, and we can see this is an Astra Machina Enforcer. So Enforcer, Arm, Astra Machina. Do we know who this is? Arctic.
Arctic had quite a few to pull.
Yes, and it's got levels.
Yes.
Should we talk about those?
Yeah, so we have levels on all of the mech parts. So they're also on the, once those images are revealed, you'll also see them on the card as well. So there's power, endurance, speed, and each category has 5 like plus signs, sort of stars, a value of 1 to 5, where you could see where the value lies. And this is not the final stat, but it tells you the range of stats that that part at least has. But when you actually assemble your mech, the stats are going to be all revealed at that point. So depending on how you assemble your mech and all of those things, you could get something totally different. But this is an indicator for you that on that part, you know the minimum of power, endurance, and speed that you'll be getting for that part.
And people who have CyberBrokers should recognize stats, right?
Yes, for sure. They're a little bit different on mech parts, but yes, we're excited to finally really have an amazing way to be using these stats, which obviously we'll talk about later on at some point, which is the game that we're building, the gamified missions that we're building. So your stats will definitely come into play when you're looking for resources to craft items and do all of that fun stuff.
Oh, here's a good one. Lolo. Lolo got a Cyber Racer Enforcer body.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't wait for OpenSea to catch up.
I know,
That's kind of the problem. There's so many different part images. It's going to take them a moment to get their caches going.
Yes, us on our server is getting pummeled right now because you guys are all revealing your parts, which I love. So yeah, we should go through the pretty website, show everyone how to do the reveal, and then we can start seeing some parts.
Yeah, so let me go. So this is pretty. See the pretty website, and I'm going to pick.
Also, do you want to? Sorry to make you go backwards. Do you want to go to the front of pretty just so people can see the? So Pretty, which we're really Pretty is actually a looter from the CyberBrokers collection that we own. So we wanted to make her the face of this site. She is who you go to take all of your parts that are unrevealed and turn them into your mech parts. So you need to contact Pretty because she is, you know, a secretive looter and you can't just show up at her shop. So you go ahead and contact Pretty. And Mike is already logged in, but typically it would show a dial page where you could dial her, or oh yeah, it still shows here. So you would dial Pretty, which is, yeah, I've dialed this so many times. It's exactly. And then you go ahead and press com at the top right, or if you are like totally over this, you could also skip. So you could skip dialing her if you like. And then she asks you, do you have your parts ready? Mike's got his parts. So you click.
I love this. Hello, love.
Yeah, I love this. I would say what she says, but my accent would be terrible. So I'm just not going to, and save you all that joke that you can make later.
Marketing's looking for memeable moments for us. So
I know.
We need to provide some for them.
I know. Well, not this one. But yeah, so you go ahead and you say you've got parts, and we obviously see all of Mike's parts. And then you can reveal all at once, which right now, like I said, is a little heavy since we're catching up to everything, or you could reveal a few. You would proceed with the selection. I will say revealing in batches, not necessarily your whole lot. If you want to keep some unrevealed for later, go for it. But revealing each batch, like all of your Enforcer arms or all of your Nexus arms, something like that, actually does save you on gas. We've had some people reveal a ton of parts and pay pretty low gas, which is great. On
that note, we were seeing great stats in Discord earlier. People were like batching in 50s or hundreds, and you know, it was all below 0.1 ETH.
Yes. So this right here, once the transaction would be confirmed, is where you will start to see Pretty reveal your cards. Right now, sadly, I think we're having our servers have a little bit of an issue with the images, but if that's still the case, we'll show you some of the styles on the page as we reveal everyone's.
Yeah, but you should be able to see, if you go to your activity page on OpenSea, you can see them come in.
Yep. So that just happened for you. That's awesome.
Yep. So, okay, I got to check. I just got to see one.
Oh yeah, you have to see what you got.
Oh no, it didn't go to mine. Why can't I see?
4, 3.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, it's going to take a minute for the metadata to come through.
Does it say the title of the piece at the top?
Okay. It does not, and this is an OpenSea caching thing too. They need to grab the metadata from us before they can.
I know. Next time we're going to do our live party even later, so we can make sure that all of these get loaded in time. Sorry about that, guys.
That's okay. Okay, so that's the experience. You know, you'll be able to reveal live, see all the parts, see what styles, you know, what stats you got, and then you can start thinking about, what do you want to do? Do you want to put it together the way it is? Or is there a style you particularly like that you'd rather go for? So this is where the fun begins, right?
Yes, no, for sure. I mean, also, once you guys start seeing these cards, you're going to start imagining like how to put them together. I was already playing with the different parts and like piecing them together myself in a 2D format just to see them quickly before we did the testing. So it'll be a lot of fun. There's going to be crazy combinations, I'm sure. Like, I think some people will go for like the full style. And then some people will go for a crazy mix of like behemoth legs and like a tiny body and huge arms or something like that. So,
well, now that they know that there's stats involved, that's going to come into play too, because
for sure,
some people are going to go for a high stat mech, and then some people will just be aesthetics. I want something that looks exactly the way I want it.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, are we ready to bring our special guests up?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to say goodbye for now. I'll catch up after the guests. Give me 1 second to get everyone in here.
Yay, I'm so excited. Hello. I think everybody's going to hop in. Hey, Barat. Hey, Carly. Hey, Brian.
Hello.
Jam,
Hello.
Hey, Andrew. Yay, everyone's here. Can everyone hear? I know everyone can hear everyone, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'm super excited to have you all on, and thank you guys for agreeing to come on the live stream. Obviously, we all know each other from like different points. Andrew, I guess I've known you the longest. For those that don't know, he came in. He was my audio guy at the beginning, and I'm allowing him to come on the stream for the rest of it.
Muted,
Oh.
I think, Andrew.
Unmuted?
You have to walk into his room now, and maybe it'll work.
Huh.
I thought that was just a really good bit.
Let me do what I did last time, which was like click some buttons, do some stuff, and then make sure it works
You
now.
didn't click anything. It's so weird.
I don't know. I know. I clicked lots of buttons. Audio, guys. No audio.
Does anyone have audio?
Give me.
Yeah, I think they can hear all of us. It was just Andrew.
Just me?
Andrew's muted. Wait, Andrew's muted. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, purposely I was muted. So,
So everyone
we're
could
good.
always hear me?
Yeah.
No,
I can hear you.
we couldn't hear you in the beginning, Josie.
Well, why don't you grab a chair then? Okay, well, there's some live shuffling.
Sounds
Okay,
like everyone
everyone,
can't hear Jimmy, but I think that's trolling.
only the audio guy was muted. Oh yeah, I think he was muted intentionally, but yeah, that was by design. Anyways, I'm super excited to have you all on. We all know each other from different points, but if you guys don't know, Bharat is an epic, like legendary collector and has brought a lot of value to the space. And most recently has announced that he is joining on Cyber to do some amazing things. So super excited to have you, Bharat. Obviously, we've chatted and we have a lot of similar beliefs on what the metaverse should be. And I think you guys are doing some amazing things with On Cyber and having it as a web-based platform and all those sorts of things. Carly, super excited to have you on. Obviously, you guys love and know Carly's face from Overpriced JPEGs. And the brand that she's been building over this past. When did you start, Carly? Remind me.
November 2021, so a
Okay.
year and change.
Nice. The brand she's been building over this year and change. I've loved your streams and your podcasts, and got to know some people that I didn't know yet. So super excited. Brian, very excited to have you on. Brian and Jimmy, we've done streams on Behind the Art. So this isn't the first thing that we've been on together. But Brian, obviously huge fan of your work. We've been fortunate to meet a couple of times IRL too, which is really nice. Brian is an amazing artist. You guys probably already know, have either seen his direct work or you've seen his work on art blocks and all of the really cool places that he creates. And then Jimmy, legendary Jimmy, we've known each other for quite a while. We were just tweeting together the other day about I think that I'm pretty sure, unless I'm having like a stroke and forgetting something, I'm pretty sure you're the only person who has like an actual commission by me. So
Yep.
Someone correct me later if I'm wrong, but Jimmy and I met in the CryptoKitties Discord years ago, and we hit it off, and he said, hey, will you paint one of my CryptoKitties for me? And I was like, hell yeah. And we ended up becoming friends. I painted his glyph in TuneIn, and we've just known each other since, and talking about Avastars before it was even named and what it means to be on chain. And obviously that was a huge inspiration for putting CyberBrokers on chain. So I'm excited to have all you guys here, and welcome.
It's great to be here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Excited for this.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, so, and Andrew, I forgot to introduce you because you weren't on the stream, but Andrew Steinwald, he's my husband, and also,
Pretty cool.
yeah, if you want to introduce yourself as a fund.
I manage an investment firm called Sophermion that's focused on the metaverse. And I'm just super happy to be here with all the people in the chat and everyone, Carly, Jimmy, Brian, Barat, like you guys are all legends. So super, super excited.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, I'm seeing everyone in the channel and YouTube commenting. Love you guys. Oh, CryptoKitties, yes. Love you guys for chatting and staying on. So we should be doing a live reveal right now. Some of our images aren't showing up, but what I would love is maybe we all we put through a few things on the reveal, and then I'll bring Mike on to go to the OpenSea and see what you guys revealed, and then we can pull up the styles from our Mech Styles page. I think that's probably a good solution for now. So sorry, we're winging it and doing a couple of things on the fly. But if you guys want to reveal a few parts on your own right now, and then we'll have Mike come on and share the Mech Styles page, and we'll show you what you got live, since the OpenSea or the website isn't showing everything yet.
Also, where do you buy? I don't have enough parts to make a full mech. Where do you get?
You have enough.
No, I know. I just checked. I don't. I have no engines. I have no leg. I only have the arms and the body.
Did you not claim anything?
No, I didn't. I didn't realize.
He lives with me, and I told him. In my defense,
This
I told him. I said, you have to claim by the end of the year. You have to claim. You have to claim. So you have no excuse.
I did claim, just not everything.
So you didn't claim.
I claimed, not the whole.
No,
shebang.
no, didn't claim.
So, but tell me where. I'll go buy some right now.
Can we put the
Open-
link in the?
Is it OpenSea?
Yeah, of course.
No, because I went there and there's not enough parts. There's 26 items for sale.
Well, because this is a teachable moment, guys. So the unrevealed parts are 1155s, which means that it just shows as one item, but there are thousands.
I should know that. Okay.
Okay. So that's your teachable moment.
Not gonna make it? Oh, come on.
The 721s, you will be burning, to be clear, you will be burning your unrevealed parts to get revealed parts, and they will turn into their 721 form, and then those are what you're going to use to compose your full mech. People are giving you so much shit, so just saying.
I love it.
Only one person is giving you a break, saying that they were confused too, but everyone else is giving you.
Thank you, person.
Joff.
Oh, Joff.
Okay, so if you guys don't mind, just reveal a few parts, and then Mike, if you don't mind coming back up, and then we can go through some of the styles that they are revealing.
Are they gonna share their screens?
Yeah, I see Jimmy and Brian have shared screens. So do one of you want to go first?
I'm in the process of the transaction. I think I screwed it up and did them all at once. I thought I was only doing one of a class, but I think I did all of them.
Oh no!
No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine.
I have revealed all of my parts.
Nice.
So we could take a look at my OpenSea if all that's loaded now and see what I got.
Brian,
It's gonna take like an hour to see all Jimmy's stuff.
I know.
Brian, can you type your address in the private chat, and I'll get that queued up while we're looking at Jimmy's?
And I should have my screen shared on my OpenSea profile, Mike.
Perfect.
Nice.
All right, let's take a look. Get a little refresh here, and then maybe you can go down. I don't know. Do you guys want to guide me through this, or should I just discover on my own? I was going to look at.
I'm sorry, your audio.
I don't think all of them have loaded yet.
Oh, but actually, will you go down? Will you go down to the bottom right where or left where you saw your part types? Okay, so I'm assuming. Sorry, we're doing some of this on the fly because our image issue. I'm assuming those are the ones.
This hasn't loaded all of mine yet. I did 2 batches. The first batch I did like Enforcer and Ravager and a couple Lupus.
Okay, so let's look at let's start with, do you have some Nexus revealed? Let's categorize, let's change the
They
model
should
kit
all be revealed. Yeah, let me refresh again because I did the Nexus second. So let's see.
I'm excited to see what Nexus parts you got.
So wait, also you said that we can go see the.
Yeah, we're about to do that. I just want to see first what
it's not showing up quite yet. Let me see. It looks like everything's confirmed.
Let's start with Lupus. Will you click on your 6 Lupus and see what styles you have? Okay, and scroll down again.
The grade of 420.
Picked the wrong one, apparently. Hold on.
Oh, wait, but yeah. Well, shouldn't it say, sorry, I'm doing this on the fly, shouldn't it? If you scroll down, will it say your style? Yeah, drop down style. If you drop down style. Okay, let's just go there. Oh, you got the Duchess. Oh, I really like the Duchess. Okay, we'll start to look at some of these. You just show us your styles and I'll tell Mike which to pull up on. Can we show both screens at the same time, Mike? I don't know if that's possible. If we show the styles page. I could also share my screen. Okay. I don't know. Oh, sweet. Okay. So, can we make those two screens or at least the styles page bigger? Sorry. Thank you. Okay. The Duchess I'll show you what the Duchess looks like, and keep reading off any of your styles that you think sound cool, and then we'll show them to you as we come live. So Duchess, if you scroll down, Mike, it's all the way, there we go. The Duchess, this one on the left, she was really cool. So I was like, I want to make a mech that looks like she's made of complete porcelain. So once you see this one, like close up,
Wow.
I love that one. I'm
Yeah,
jealous.
that's so dope.
So I don't know which part you got, whether it be leg, body, arms, or head.
I don't know if there's an easy way for me to pull it up right now. It seems like OpenSea's not like pulling up the ones that are matching to the metadata.
It's struggling a little, but that Duchess will be dope once you.
I want the head. What would you have a part of it that you'd want most, Jimmy? I want the head.
I mean, I don't know. I guess the torso to me, in general, like I like the torsos because it's gonna have the afterglow in there and everything else. I'm planning on probably doing a lot of Frankenstein mechs. If I can put together like one pure one, that's great. But my plan is to like keep parts within the class, I guess. So all Enforcer parts, all Nexus parts. I'm not planning on. I'm hoping I get lucky and can do a pure one, but I'm generally probably just gonna assemble with what I have.
Yeah. And I think because we're having the live assembly issue, maybe we'll just all shoot the shit and go over these different mech types if you guys are cool with that. And I'll tweet at you guys later of pictures of all your cards. So I'm sorry about that. Do you guys have any favorites that we should scroll through the screen?
There was like a skeleton one I saw earlier that looked really cool.
I
wanted to see that bigger so I can see how it connects as a robot.
I think there's a loop.
That one, yeah.
There was also a lupus one with really long arms. I think it was
cool.
Lupus.
Yeah, the horror one. So this one's cool because the head is obviously floating. So whatever body that you attach this, or if you get that head, whatever body you put it on, it's gonna float above the mech, which would be really
cool.
I like the blue, like abominable snowman looking guy.
Oh yeah, he's an enforcer. He's,
I think,
right. Go up a little.
I thought he was below the skeleton, but maybe not.
Oh, sorry, no, he's a Ravager. I apologize. I got mixed up. He's the. Keep going.
I like that steampunk top hat.
Or is he a behemoth? Oh my God, sorry, I'm messing up. We moved this one.
There he is.
We moved this one. He used to not have the ice. So first we had him in a class that was a little bit smaller, but once we had the ice, we're like, this looks too epic. He has to be a behemoth because we made him a lot bigger now. And he was actually one of the early ones that we made.
So what colors can you swap on him?
So this one is the main blue. So that light blue, you're going to be able to make what color you want.
And that's like kind of everything.
I know. Yeah. That's the other thing. Some of them have like huge areas that you can swap and some have like smaller areas that you can swap. Okay, let's see. Oh, a lot of people are saying that they like the Wowie, the Ravager Wowie, the one with the box that is made out of cardboard boxes.
Oh, I thought people were saying Wowie a lot, like being like Wowie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this one was fun. I was like, I know it's weird, but we need a mech that's made of cardboard boxes. And our partner that helped us create all of these, their company name is called Glob. And I was talking to Fernando, who has been like a legend through this whole process and creating these together. And Fernando was like, we should draw little like sketches here. And then we have this here. And I was like, yes. And he was like, and then we'll have lights across the body. And he like went full in on this one and was really excited about the cardboard theme. So he did an amazing job helping me concept this one.
That could be a character in like a kid's movie. You know, that looks like follow the adventures of Wowie and his friends as they.
And there's actually like a nod to like Toy Story on this one because we have Wowie and Crayon written on like the torso area. So we
like the Andy and Crayon thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Was the
I think
Iron
it's super
Giant.
interesting. Yeah, it's super interesting that there's a combination of like mech looking robots, but also like organic built into them, which is kind of nice too.
Yeah, and to be honest, on that point, we like when I was looking for inspiration for mechs, like on Pinterest and like everywhere I could, the only style I was seeing was like that like intense like transformer. I forget the style of it. You guys are gonna kill me later for forgetting, but like I forget the word. But like
Autobots.
yeah, like that crazy intense, which I like that, and I wanted some of that, but I couldn't find anything that felt extremely unique. And so we started from like the drawing board and was just like, what kind of mech? Like this is the metaverse. This is the future where like anything is possible. So what can we do that will push the boundaries and like really be able to create absolutely anything? You want to go down to the Nexus because I know a lot of people haven't seen the full Gundam. Thank you, Vo. I was forgetting that. Yes, no, the Nexus, a lot of people haven't seen these fully. So Oberon, that was epic. Shahrazad, that one is actually inspired. If you guys have seen, if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with Love, Death, Robots. And one of my favorite episodes by one of my favorite artists created, or the episode is called Jabaro. And this one is very inspired by Jabaro. And I loved the way that this one turned out.
Alan's asking, what's the scale of the mech relative to a broker?
So they're 25 meters tall, max. So we had a picture that we posted where they're like, if you stack like 13 people on top of each other, basically.
It's like a person comes up to like the ankle or something like that, right?
Yeah. So every mech, if you'll notice, every mech has a cockpit in the middle of their chest. So this, or depending on the mech, it could be in their belly or a little higher up, but in the torso. So her cockpit, you guys are going to see that a lot clearer on assembly also, because those windows are going to be slightly see-through and you'll actually see the cockpit through. But like the Alatier, like the one on the right, that whole like gem area right there is the cockpit. The biohazard symbol on the Wasteland Warlord, that's the cockpit. So that whole area is where you're going to see like literally a mini chair and sort of like command center inside of those cockpits when we assemble.
Gigazilla is awesome. I want to put that head on every one of them.
I know. I specifically said, I was like, can we see other heads on Gigazilla and Gigazilla head on other people's? Because I want to see how it's going to mix and match. So we put the Neko-chan, which is this tiny little cat head, on this one to see how it would look. So that was a really fun mashup.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, and guys, please feel free, since we kind of switched up the way the reveal is happening, to ask any questions live in the YouTube and we'll see them flow through. Thank you for giving us the Mechaverse reveal that we deserved. You're welcome. You can adjust the VRM size during the process of import on Monoverse too, so we can be massive. Yeah, that's really exciting for us to be able to, we're giving like crazy files that are 8K, so that people could, these would literally be the types of files that people would use in intense like animations. We're giving files at 4K, at 2K, VRM, so you can really use them anywhere, whether it be close-up animations where you want to see every single texture, or whether you want it for a AAA game, or whether you want it really optimized for something that's web-based. So we put as many as possible file formats in these mechs so that you could bring them anywhere with you. Yeah, 8K file.
Anywhere that you'd be most excited to see a mech show up? Like, are you like, oh, I would love to see a badass animation, or it would be a game, like, or any of them are exciting for you?
Yeah, I mean, I have been a really big fan. So like Artifact has an amazing creator community. They are like doing such an amazing job. They're teaching their community how to use Blender. Like, that's crazy. So to me, I'm really excited to start seeing the community content creation. Like, I know that these would look sick in a crazy animation, and like we're gonna get there and be able to do that ourselves. But to be able to see these files in the community's hand, like Robin this morning was DMing me like, holy shit, cannot wait to get my hands on this. And obviously, like we all know with Based, like they're doing insane content creation. So to see other creators creating with mechs is what I'm super excited about.
Yeah, the based mech collab is what we need.
Yes, exactly. What are the guests' favorite styles? Brandon Harvey asked. Did you guys, we'll send this link in the private chat too. It's just on our website. If you guys want to scroll through and see if you have any favorites. We can learn Blender too.
I think Nexus, so whatever, like literally that first one, the Duchess that we saw, and then the one, I can't remember the other, I don't remember, it was the one when we started talking about the cockpits or whatever. Yeah, so
the Altair.
Are they the same style? Are they both Nexus or?
No, so Duchess is actually Lupus, and then the Altair is Nexus. So you're talking about the one with like the colorful crystals.
The one right there.
Oh, the overall. Right. Oh yeah, that one. The one in the middle?
the one to the right of that. I like that one actually a lot too. I think they're all a little bit more feminine, I feel like, relative to the mech. So this is why you bring the lady on, you know, because I probably like my taste for like leans that way. Like that's so cool. I want the heads of all of like her and the Duchess.
Yeah, she's so cool. No, I lean that way too, and that's what was also important to me with creating the mechs, is that I didn't want them all to be either super feminine or like super crazy, huge, like masculine, whatever it is. But like, I feel like mixing all of these is going to be really cool too, and seeing what people come up with. And I think we really have a huge range of variety, which obviously we wanted to do in CyberBrokers too, and we like keep that as a theme with the whole collection.
So are those both Nexus?
No, but you can
or loop, whatever. They're not.
You can still mix them. So you just need an engine plus 2. So you could have like the Duchess head on the Shahrazad body. So you can still mix them.
Okay, yeah.
She looks like an Egyptian belly dancer. Yeah,
I know. It's cool.
I think the goddess looks amazing too, by the way.
The goddess. Yeah, the goddess is a behemoth. We had a lot of like male looking ones in the behemoth, so we wanted to do something that was like big and powerful and feminine. So the goddess was actually, she's going to be really cool once you see her in 3D, because the back of her wings look like an owl. Like it's so cool. So you'll see the back of her when you can rotate the mech fully on assembly.
Somebody in chat is asking, is there any benefit to having a cohesive model over like different style parts?
So definitely check out the stats as you're assembling your mech, because there are, we did give engines also style types. So having the full style could mean that you're getting specific, like you're getting the stats in a specific way. I don't know how much I can say there, but yes, it could.
So if you assemble a pure mech, you get better stats, perhaps, is what I'm hearing here. I don't know that you're going to confirm that.
I also want to like say, don't quote me, because I want to make sure with our game designer that is the case. But from like what I think that there is some sort of bonus if you do have the full thing, but I don't think it's tremendous that like if you loved a head of something else that you should stop putting it on something. But there are also going to be mechs that lean more towards endurance, more towards speed, and like the missions that we're going to be releasing for you to let your mechs go on are going to have like the different categories that you may want to be better in.
So specialization can still be good. So you could put together one that maybe was a complete mix and match as far as possible, that all had really strong endurance stats, but may not match at all. And that could come out with more endurance than if you did like a complete match, for example.
Yeah. Bharat. Oh, go ahead.
I can read the prepared statements from the newsletter, which I think would help answer some of this question if you like.
Go for it. And then I want to go back and see what else everyone else's favorites are.
So enforcers are more individually focused by style when it comes to stats. So each style will have a different focus of stats. Ravagers are more focused on speed and endurance. Behemoths are focused on power and endurance. Lupus are focused on power and speed. And then, of course, Nexus is good at everything. So you could like play with parts from various ones to create a different combination.
Cool. Thank you so much, Mike. I would love to, if you guys have other favorites you want to?
Ooh, did you? So Ouroboros. Is there anything you can say about that one in particular? Yeah. Is this inspired, or did you work on this with anybody?
Yeah. So, why does it bring you a thought of something in particular?
I mean, I know a couple wonderful women in the space that have a company named Ouroboros, which is slightly different, but the style actually kind of jumped out at me as similar to what they might have designed if they were taking a stab at it.
Cool.
So I didn't know if you.
So no, it wasn't.
Paula or Alyssa.
It wasn't, but I love that, and I'm really glad that name sort of connects with that, because this
that one is badass.
Yeah, this is the most rare of the Nexus. It's the rarest of all of them.
Yeah.
And like, as you can see, like the way it's named, the way it looks is like it's a universe in one mech, and we wanted that one to be really, really special, especially because obviously we're building a CyberBrokers world, but we're building from something that's much bigger than us and something that we can't even imagine right now. And that's why every choice we make with putting CyberBrokers on chain or making mechs as usable in any type of thing as possible was important to us. So I think that sort of thought and ethos was encapsulated in this, like building something that's bigger than us. So that's why we built that one and made that one extremely rare. But I love that connection. I didn't realize. Brian or Bharat, do you have any favorites?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this might sound silly because I think it's like the most common one, but I love that ActionBot 3000.
That's not silly.
You know me, I like a lot of colors in my stuff, and this is like, I just got that like Bored Apes toy, which is sitting like behind me.
Oh no!
And this like looks like something that would make an awesome vinyl sculpture to put on my shelf.
Yeah, and you know why I love this one too, and why I'm glad we put this as a really common enforcer is that it's the first mech that when Azamat and I were like, okay, we need to do mechs, let's sit down, let's map stuff out. This was the first mech that he drew out and concepted, and we used this mech's arm as like the first arm drop for the Lupus.
Yeah, it's in that's on the airdrops.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this was a really fun one because it was the very first mech that we concepted. So I'm glad you liked that one.
Yeah, for me, I think it's Amalgam because it's like a piece of art in itself, right? It looks amazing.
Yeah, Amalgam. I'm really excited about Amalgam and the way it came out. And actually, it's one of the last ones that we finalized because it was so difficult to get it right. We were like, we want it like flowing mercury, energy, like all of these things. And we wanted the glow to be really forward facing and just like out there. So this one was difficult, but it is like, it's literally a sculpture, but it's a mech that's usable. So I'm glad you called that one out. And it looks like it has like these like portals in its like body in all these spots.
Right. Oberon reminds me of a Pokemon.
I think someone else was saying that too, which I love. I love seeing right above the Wasteland one, Mike. You were just on it. That one. Yep, that one right in the middle. Someone also was just saying that, and I like this one a lot. I don't know enough about Pokemon. I need to check it out, but I take that.
I'm forgetting the name right now. It's like a legendary Pokemon that you can get in Pokemon Go. So,
nice.
These are so good, Josie. It's been worth the wait. Anticipating for the last 6+ months what this is going to be, and starting collecting the parts. And now I know I was saying I want to do Frankenstein, but now that I'm seeing some of these models, like it definitely feels like I'd like to at least get like one pure Lupus or one pure Nexus somewhere in there because they're all so good.
We were just saying. Oh, go ahead.
So I love that we're going to be able to customize the colors without spending like the afterglow, and that the afterglow is like specific to the mech, but the color of the mech, we can customize. That's awesome. It's going to bring such a level of customization. There's no way that anybody's going to have any two that are exactly alike unless they're doing it intentionally.
Exactly. And to your point, not even including the accent color customization, just purely like the way you could mix and match it was like over like 17 billion combinations that are possible, not even including the custom colors. So it's absurd. And also I was going to say to your point of like doing the Frankenstein mechs, people were saying, oh, the people with so many mechs, like for you, for example, they're like, we should like have they pay some small fee for someone to like custom design all their mechs for them so they don't have to build them all. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool. Have like a master crafter that you could hire to like build all the hundreds of mechs that you probably have at this point. So
I think whoever built the site that told us which parts would match with which, you know, they could probably just add something in there and we click a button and assemble them all.
Yeah, that'd be.
That site's awesome, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It's how I got prepared for this. I was like going through, I was like, all right, I need 12 arms for this. And I was like, oh, well, I want to complete, you know, as many Nexus as possible. So I'm going and buying arms for that. And then at first I didn't realize I needed 2 arms for everything. And this whole thing. So I think there was one day where I probably did like 30 transactions buying TPL parts.
I saw that.
And I finally got locked in. Yeah, I used that website. That's how I was doing it. And I probably could have done it in a much more methodical way. But
no, he did a great job, and that was a community member that built that whole thing. So I was very impressed by that. We have an insane community. I'm super curious if you guys don't mind that. Yes, CB. I always say CBDG, but it's CBG. Yeah, I say it wrong every time. But if you guys don't mind, I would love to hear from all of you, like your thoughts on the metaverse and like what that means to you. And it's totally okay if like, you know, I was just on a podcast the other day with Jason Bailey, Art Gnome, and he was like, the metaverse is bullshit. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's so cool. And like all this, and we had like a conversation about it. So totally fine if you don't have like, if you have interesting views on it. I'm really interested and keen on hearing what you guys think about the metaverse and what it really means.
We're already in the metaverse. It's just the internet with blockchain technology and virtual reality and these other parts that have been in technical innovations that we've integrated into the internet experience over the last few years. And we had the early internet, and then we had the Web 2.0 movement. This Web 3 movement is quite literally, we could just call it the metaverse for all intents and purposes. It means different things to different people, but it's basically adding like this decentralized layer, you know, to the internet that allows us to actually own digital goods and then to use those in experiences and things like this, something that wasn't possible a few years ago. It's a small innovation in terms of like, you know, the change is just plugging in a piece of technology, but what that enables are all these experiences that are going to be built over the next 10 to 15 years. So to me, that's the metaverse. We're already in it. It's just the internet with these extra bits and pieces that we've all been playing with for the last couple of years added in.
I would just augment Jimmy's answer with just saying that the whole immersive experience is super important, right? I mean, I think you've got this virtualization and visualization layer rather, where everybody can get more deeply immersed in 3D, right? And have their avatars represent them and kind of do all of these things in this virtual world rather than just doing it, you know, in the physical world like we do with Internet 1.0 or 2.0 technologies. I think that immersion is going to be what sort of drives us to that next level of, you know, metaversal experience. So the chatting, you know, the features of being able to interact and game, you know, being able to trade assets and, you know, all of that stuff, the provenance sort of backing it is going to be super powerful for that next level of experience. It's just like Fortnite, but with, you know, all of this sort of live experience that we are all going to be doing on chain, which is tremendous.
And being able to jump from something like Fortnite into Ready Player One type of experience, right, or anywhere else, going from Monoverse into Other Side into Webaverse, you know, with the same character and being represented in the same way. I'm Jimmy Eek wherever I go. I may choose to take my mech and have a mech in those experiences, and people would recognize my mech. That's like kind of the magic that we're missing on the internet today, that this technology layer that's mostly blockchain right now enables. And then when you add in like 3D technology, VR and all that, in 15 years, that's how we'll probably browse the internet in a virtual way versus these 2D screens. But right now we have to create the metaverse for these 2D screen environments and mobile screen environments initially, because that's what people are using already today.
I think about like, how do we extend what we can do in the physical world into the digital world? And the example that I love is like, right now, if I go into, I don't know, Aritzia or Free People to go shopping and my friend is also there, I'll bump into her and be like, oh my God, hey. But if we're both on the Free People website, I don't know that, but like breaking down that barrier so that in whatever way, like, oh, I bump into my friend who's there the way I would in the real world. And maybe I'm a VIP shopper. And so I have my token that allows me to get access to a special part of the site to do the special shopping or the special shopping event that I would get in the store because I'm such an active shopper. And like some of these things that are made possible in the physical world that we don't have, like, I'm excited for that. And that to me is really what it means, is just like breaking down some barriers that exist now that won't.
Education too, like being able to
barriers, yeah. I have to hop off.
Thank you.
I have a meeting, but thank you guys so much. This was so fun. That looks incredible, Josie. Congratulations to you and the whole team.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Thanks, Carly. Chat soon.
Later, Carly.
And yeah, I guess just to wrap this part up, I'm super excited with what you guys have to think about the metaverse. Oh, Brian, if you wanted to say something, I don't want to.
Gosh, I think you guys covered it all. Okay. No, the metaverse is just a digital layer on top of our lives. And I think as AR and all this stuff comes about, what we're doing now is we're just collecting assets for the future world we live in, whether it's art or sculptures or anything else. So, I don't think people have fully grasped how all these assets will be used, but I love to see that you and the team are building these in a way that can be used for whatever gets built going forward.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I echo what all of you guys just said. Like for me, the metaverse is the experiential layer of the internet, right? It's the social, it's the gaming, it's the chats, it's all of those things that like you're experiencing so much more than just checking your email or whatever else you're doing on the internet. It's the experiences that you're getting doing those, and to Carly's point, having those experiences with the community and other people at the same time when you want that is going to be really amazing. I think there's things that we can't even imagine that are going to happen. Like, I mean, the craziest thing that I could think of, which is is not even that crazy, is like, oh, there's going to be experiences where you can actually taste and smell and feel and like all of these things in the future that are just so augmented, and you can feel like you're getting inside of this cockpit of your mech. You can feel like it's gonna like encapsulate all these different parts of your life, and it's gonna become like part of your like your memories and your experiences, like going on a trip, you know what I mean, going on a vacation. Like I'm really excited to start to see more of these things come to life in either their most simple or most advanced form. So yeah,
I already have great memories from gaming. Like I can remember when like the Burning Crusade launched in World of Warcraft and running around that like area for days with my internet friends that I never met in real life. And like the nostalgia's hard, like it's strong. Like I've gone back and played that game and gone and flown over those areas and felt the same way I felt, wanting that again. I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to. Is I am confident now that sometime in the next 4 or 5 years, we're going to see another moment in gaming emerge, like World of Warcraft. Like to me, that was a significant one. Spending virtual years of my life playing a game and forging connections. It's felt a little bit like that over the last 4 or 5 years with all of you guys. Everybody without the gaming environment. We've been kind of building the assets that are eventually going to make the ultimate game. So I think it'll even be more rewarding then when Brian and I can run around slaying mega codas or whatever the hell it is we're doing in a couple of years.
Exactly.
Like I'm a kid. I'm a 45-year-old kid. So I'm looking forward to playing with these toys once they become, useful, basically.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. Sorry for a couple of the bumps, but you guys helped me iron them out with just keeping the combo going and checking out all the mechs. I'm really excited for you guys to assemble and see all the parts get revealed the coming days. So thank you, seriously. I'm like so happy to get this crew together to come on here. So I appreciate your guys' time.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to watch these revealed so that I might be able to snag some of these parts that I want.
Yeah, you have to build your Action Bot 3000.
Thanks for
sure.
having
Yeah,
us on.
with the Zilla head.
Oh, that would be epic. That would be really cool. I like that combo. Of course, thank you guys so much. And we'll see you in the Paradigm Lost. And I'll stay on here and I'll chat with Mike and we'll go through a Q&A if you guys have any questions from the community. Oh, and we'll do the giveaway. Forgot about that. I'll just wait for Mike to come back on screen so we can get that started.
Hello, that was awesome. Sorry, I love just listening to them riff back and forth, and I love how everyone's idea of the metaverse is kind of aligned into what they think it is and what it needs to be. That's so great. They just hear a panel like that, all kind of sync on the same concept. Okay.
And they're all doing different things within the space, so it's really interesting to see everyone come together and feel the same way about the metaverse and same excitement.
Yeah, and listening to each of they each picked something very different as far as their style that they liked. So it proved the 50 is worthwhile because everyone's going to find something that they really fall in love with. Kind of like the original CyberBrokers, right?
Yes, exactly. Okay, so we should do the giveaway.
Yes. Do you have the DMs of the 4 people?
I probably do. Let's do it.
So while you're doing that, let me describe what they are. So there's a precision lupus bundle. So pretty much the parts you see here. So legs, 2 arms, head, and a body. There's a Ravager bundle. There's a Behemoth bundle, all the same parts. And then there's the Afterglow Agogo bundle, 4 really cool Afterglow. And you've put them all in a hat?
I have a hat of all of the prizes in here. So I think, should we, the first giveaway winner, should I say the name or pick the prize first? What do you think?
I would go with the name, and then they can see what they got live, right?
So the first giveaway winner was FoxYoga_OM. You are the first winner. I went on your Twitter and you have a really cool avatar as your profile picture. And then you have an epic picture in the background of what I'm assuming is a party in Decentraland. So you seem like a really awesome person. Let's see, I'm gonna mix it up. You got the Lupus bundle.
Woo! Nice.
That's a really good bundle. I think that's probably would be the one that I would hope for on this, but they're all actually okay, they're all good. Anyways.
Yeah, they're all good, but it's kind of funny. Lupus and Behemoth, it's 50-50, right?
I know. The Lupus it's interesting because we could talk about that too, the breakdown of those, but the Lupus has, well, no, because there's the Behemoth. My favorite mech is in the Behemoth. Okay, it's hard. Anyways, okay, the second winner, the quote retweet winners, we have 3. So the first one is Chicken Creep 1. And you also have a really cool background that is funny with Doge dogs in it. And I see a voxel picture of a lot of money swinging. That's awesome. NuggetsPCC.eth. You won the Afterglow Go-Go bundle. Nice. So you can pick a lot
of awesome colors. I personally picked those, and they aren't the lower ones. They're nice colors.
Yeah, those are really good colors. Third winner is, I don't know how to say your name.
Aphelion?
Aphelion_eth. And your bundle is the Behemoth bundle. So that's a really good one. You got the body, the head, 2 arms, and legs.
This next person's going to be very excited.
Yes, because we know what's left. We have the Ravager bundle, and that is for Calbear_eth.
Calbear, he's in Discord all the time.
I know, that's awesome. So you just won that last bundle. So I'm excited. I cannot wait for you guys to see all of the combinations of what you guys are gonna get. So we will send you guys all your parts. Thank you for participating in that giveaway.
Yeah, that was awesome. Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Mike, should we get into a Q&A?
Yeah, I think we should. I think marketing has something that they want us to do.
I know, they do. Okay, so go ahead.
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
So marketing, okay, you guys are going to give us so much shit on this, but
get your screen captures ready.
Yeah, well, let's not encourage that. Our marketing team decided that it would be really fun if they sent us our favorite things for the Q&A because they wanted okay, also I thought it was a mukbang is the vibe of like you eating while you talk, or is it mukbang? Yes. But they were like, oh, so funny, mech bang. So they sent us our favorite things. And Mike is really lucky because his favorite thing is a drink, which is Mountain Dew. And he has like every flavor of Mountain Dew. Ridiculous, hilarious. My favorite thing is fried chicken. So they sent me fried chicken to do a mukbang with. So we're going to answer questions while drinking Mountain Dew and eating fried chicken. So we are a healthy crew, Mike.
Thank you, marketing department. So let's show. Do you have the bucket? Oh, you haven't opened it up yet. Open it up.
I haven't even opened it yet.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'll show mine. So they shared a special drink with me. You all might recognize this. Oh, it's not working. Hold on, there we go. So this is HP Restore. This is the TPL version, I believe, of Mountain Dew. You got it out?
I put it on mute because my bag was so loud. They also had me print out really special fun mechs to put on the bucket that I never did. So sorry, marketing. Got you on that one. Apologize.
You want to show them?
Show my chicken?
No, did you print them out or not?
Oh, I did, but I was gonna put mechs across the bucket, but it didn't happen. But you guys could also see the chicken if you'd like. So I will show you that. I'm not gonna eat all of this on stream, but I probably will eat at least 3 pieces.
Nice. Cheers, Josie.
Cheers.
Cheers to a great reveal, right?
Our favorite things.
Yep. So do we have some questions? People in chat want to ask some questions?
Yeah, ask questions you'd like while I start to eat this fried chicken.
Yep. We can also pull up the mech styles, and people can pick specific mech styles, and we can do backstories on those. I'm looking through the show notes, and while we're waiting, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Mechs require an operator. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so mechs require an operator. They can't operate themselves. It's your way to, travel around TPL. So operators can be, of course, your CyberBrokers. Operators are also going to be different things, like when we drop drifters. So your mech can be operated by a drifter. So we also are making sure that we can make mechs usable in missions if you don't yet have an operator. If you are that lovely person with a mech that doesn't have a CyberBroker, we're going to make sure there's a way that you can still mission and collect resources and do all the fun things. But there's always going to be an operator.
Okay. And then another quick one. Does the engine part show on the assembled mech?
So
sorry, I'll start. Go ahead.
Oh, it's fine. I'm good at eating and talking at the same time. Don't worry, I don't do this in person. The engine will glow in the center of the chest, the color that your mech is. So if you have a Nexus, your engine will be glowing red. If you have an Enforcer, your engine will be going blue, and so on. So, and we'll also have the icon on the engine part in the center of the chest. So you'll see the icon and the color immediately, so you'll know what it is.
Sorry, quick typing there.
I'm going to let you answer a question really quick because I realized this is my new computer with a different charger, so I need to grab it from the other room really quick.
So the next question was, you don't need to reveal Afterglow. What does it do? And I kind of saw this question earlier. Is there any more alpha regarding Afterglow? No, Afterglow is primarily for aesthetics. There is obviously some rarity to Afterglows because they were handed out by talent. So certain colors, like the gradient colors, there's less quantity of those colors. But other than aesthetics, there is nothing to do with Afterglows right now.
But I will say that doesn't mean that they can't come in later with other aesthetic things. So
yes, so we should say that for mech assembly,
yes,
there is nothing to do with afterglows. Okay, Brianna, where are you pinning? Oh, okay, thank you. Never mind. Brianna's off. By the way, huge shout out to Brianna, who's in the background doing all these great things to make both of our lives so much easier. Thank you, Brianna. Okay, one more quick question, and then we'll go to the pinned ones. What are the part combinations to assemble a mech? So like everything starts with an engine, but what after that?
I'll let you take that one.
Okay. So you got to pick your engine first, and that defines the model. Then you have to have 2 other parts of the same model as the engine. Style doesn't matter. It's all about model. And then after those 3 parts of the same model, any other style or model you want. So get creative.
So just because that was a little confusing with style and model, if people don't know what that means, model is like Enforcer, Behemoth, Ravager, Nexus, and Lupus. And then the style is like the Oberon, the Shahrazad, the Wowie, like that's like all the fun stuff that you can mix and match. And so it basically means whatever you pick as your engine, the Enforcer, you need 2 other Enforcer parts to make a full Enforcer. Nexus engine, you need 2 other Nexus parts to make the full Enforcer. So you couldn't even, if you wanted to, you couldn't build something that has all Nexus parts and no Nexus engine. You would at least have to have 2 parts of what your engine is.
Makes sense. Josie, can you see the pinned messages on the right in chat? No. Okay. I'm going to take one for myself. Brianna, is it possible to paste those into the private chat? If Mike were a mech model, what one would he be? And that's BuildyBot, because I love building. Simple, right?
No.
And I'm a leftover, so I fit in with the Enforcers perfectly. What should we expect from the new quests? And we could kind of both answer that one, I think. You want to start?
Yeah. So last round of missions or of quests, we're changing that word to missions now, but same thing. Last round of quests, when we had them, they were extremely fun, but they were difficult. They were for someone who doesn't exactly know puzzles and like isn't really in tap with that. There were smaller ways that you could participate, but you couldn't participate in every step of the way. But there was something still special about those. So we want to make sure that we, always keep involving the people who do want to do the harder things, but not make that our core experience that people can interact with. So with the missions, we've decided that we're going to take an approach that is going to look a lot different. And we're going to be releasing the MVP of it will be releasing a game where you can put your mechs on missions. It's going to be very text-based and more like an idle game where you can pick your operator, pick your mech, pick the accessories, and go send your mech on a mission. And you will have to, the strategy that you will have to do is deciding who you want to send on that mission. If it's someone that you need power or speed or whatever for. And that will sort of be how this first rounds of missions goes. But the way that I see missions growing in the future is that we want to add more and more to those mission types. Interactive games, collaborative missions, where people can come in, they can see, 120 people are playing that mission right now. I'm going to go in that chat box and like chat with them and see, who's doing what. Or, we have a bar at the top that says 20 people need to complete this mission to unlock XYZ, or things that can be collaborative. So right now we're starting off with an MVP. We're getting the basis of all the missions out there. And that is going to be the first launch of our missions. And then we're going to keep growing that from there and allow you to use all the different things that you'll be getting in the CyberBrokers universe and maybe some extra things as well.
And I think it pairs a little bit with the lore too. So yeah, the last quest, it was a series of lore chapters that were all in sequence and kind of tied together, whereas lore this time is going to be more short story oriented.
Yeah, exactly. And much more like you don't have to have read all the past chapters to catch up.
Yes.
Something where people can hop in where they land on our community and still enjoy and not be lost.
Yep. And the other thing there, I think, is, you know, the community part of those quests was amazing. So there'll still be a community part, even though there's individual things you can do as well. So kind of combining both of those.
And we'll keep building that as we go. There are going to be at the beginning where some things might be a lot lighter than we hope for. And then we're going to be building those things out so that we can, as I told you guys when we did the last roadmap, like we want to constantly iterate. We want to launch and bring and put things out there and keep building from there. Like I'm so not the kind of person to just, you know, and this is total sidetrack, but we've gotten a few people say, well, CyberBrokers should have just been about the art and not done all the building, and like maybe it would be seen as an art collection. But at the end of the day, like I want something magical, and to like bring magic to our community and our consumers means that you have to build for a mission that's way bigger than you are in the moment. And so that's what we're doing, and we're showing you guys, like as we launch and iterate things, we're showing you guys every step of the way. So yeah, I'm really excited about missions.
Let's switch back to answer this question, because we went through it quick, but you know, so how many specific models of mechs do we have, and how many specific styles total?
Yeah, so the models are Enforcer, Ravager, Behemoth, Lupus, Nexus. So there are 5 models. And then total, there are 50 different styles right now of this Genesis line, of this Genesis collection. That is broken up. I think, Mike, you said that getting 12 Enforcer. I don't want to mess up. What do you remember?
12 Enforcer, 11 Ravager, 10 Behemoth, 10 Lupus, and then 7 Nexus. And that kind of follows a distribution of how many of each there are as well. There's more Lupus, there's more Nexus styles than technically there should be because of the quantity. But again, Nexus is a more premium model, so they get a little bit more too.
Yeah.
Let's have that Lupus Behemoth discussion a little bit, because it's interesting how quantity and rarity and power level, I guess, or stat level, all kind of merged on those two.
Yeah, so that is interesting. So actually, it's really the way that we initially released these is that we wanted, in the very first quest, we wanted people to be able to join and play with our community that didn't hold CyberBrokers. So we made a decision for our very first quest. We didn't tell anyone beforehand, but we said everyone was welcome to play. Come play our quest with us. And we made the decision that any wallet that played in that first quest was going to get dropped a Lupus arm, which is one of the, you know, high-end styles.
Yep.
Just for taking part and being a part of our community, even if you didn't hold a CyberBroker. We had people show up in a really exciting way. A ton of people ended up playing that first quest without knowing that they would win anything at the end. And then the Lupus arm from that first quest basically counted as that you were a holder, so that every other quest beyond that, you could build your mech and get your parts for free, just like the CyberBrokers community. So that was really important for us. And because of that, the Lupus supply is actually bigger than the Behemoth, or the Lupus supply is bigger than the Behemoth supply. But we've done certain things within the styles of Lupus so that those are still looking like a totally different class than Behemoth, obviously, and also with the stats and things like that, that sort of balance that a little bit. But technically on paper, Behemoth model has less than Lupus.
stats wise. So when you reveal your behemoth parts, they would usually have less stats than a lupus part.
Yes.
But and behemoth and lupus also focus on different stats too. So that's another key difference.
Totally.
But yeah, the numbers kind of got reversed because you were so successful at drawing people into that first quest, that the numbers reversed a little bit. Yeah, I'd be curious to see how that plays out, because that's one of those fun things that it's there, and how will people react to it. There's another good question here. This one.
Sorry, I can't see it. Oh, can the afterglows be changed? Okay, so I guess this might be alpha, because I don't know if we've said this yet. And I hope my devs aren't kicking me in the background for this, but we'll see. So what is going to be really interesting is that their afterglows, you can't, so once you make a mech, you have minted a 721. I can, like, the high level of the pipeline is that, which is actually, this is really cool. Actually, I should talk about this for a second while answering this question. 3D assets, you are going to be able to, like we've said, pick your own arms, your own legs, your own body, your own head, your own colors for these 3D assets. That has never been done before with one final 3D output. Like, tell me where it's been done. It hasn't been done. The really important pipeline that we have custom built is this. So when you bring with an avatar into a virtual world or wherever, you have to have one mesh and one texture, basically. So you have one rigged asset, your character, completely together. You can't have it in all different parts. And then you have to have the texture, which is just like the colors and everything that go on top of it, in its own file as well. Something like, for example, I'm a big fan, I'm a clone holder, but something, for example, like clones, they have a file type that's really interesting that is not as optimized for like a AAA game or something like that, because the hair, the jacket, the necklace, the face mask, all of those are on different textures. They're not merged together. So they're not as optimized for virtual worlds or for games or anything like that. What we've built in our pipeline is a way that once you mint your mech, we've reduced it from hours to minutes, that our backend actually merges these meshes together. It takes the skeleton, it snaps them to the socket points. Because you could have a body that's this short or this big and this wide. So it snaps all the arms, the legs, everything to the sockets. And then it outputs one rig and it outputs one texture file, so that it's combined with your exact specifications of what you want it to make. It's combined so that you can immediately have a file type that will be usable in these worlds without having a super heavy load of all of these textures separated. So that's something that hasn't been done before that I'm really excited about. With all of that said, there are spots on each part that are the accent colors that you can make your own color. And then there's spots all over the mech with afterglow areas where your afterglow will show. So those on our end are basically like masks that we're applying your afterglow to, we're applying your accent colors to. Once you make that mech and you mint that 721, you've made your mech, you've minted it. But what we're allowing is that we've built into the contract a salvaging component where you could basically, I don't know if everyone will always do this, but it's available. You could pay to break your mech apart and get these bag of parts again. And that means that you can take, no, we haven't said that yet. So that means you can take your parts. I know, you can recompose them. So imagine you built an Oberon and there were because Oberons are so rare, there was no Oberon engine on the market. And or head on the market, right? You have everything else. You find one on the market and you're like, shit, this will make my complete mech. You can buy that, pay the salvaging fee, break it apart, break yours apart, and rebuild. of course, like I'll put the disclaimers that you are there's a fee, there's transaction costs to it, of course, to be able to burn to salvage the mech and then rebuild it. There's also other components that play in that you'll have to think about that will release more when salvaging comes out. So there's a couple other components that I'll save for like some of the stuff that we want to announce that's really special, but that is something that I will say. So yes, you could change your Afterglow, but it's not as easy as changing. You have to rebuild. Oh, actually, okay, the archive has just said rebuilding will also get you a different name. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to mention that, but I will say that you also won't be able to keep the name that you launched your mech with. You would re-roll your name.
That's Alpha 2. That's Alpha 2. Okay, so there was just 2 pieces of Alpha released there. That people are going to have to go back and rewind that. I'm not going to review that. Okay, I do have a somewhat similar question on broker or mechs, and here, I think it's this one. So you can definitely have multiple mechs, and makes sense your broker can jump in between mechs like you would if you had multiple cards.
Yes.
But it was from this question. Can I have multiple mechs and switch which broker uses it? Does the operator change what the mech can do?
So yes, you can have multiple mechs and switch the broker that uses it. You wouldn't be able to switch like mid-mission. You decide obviously who you're sending on the mission, and your operator will determine different things on that mission. So and will interact with your mech differently potentially. So that's also going to be evolving with our missions as we grow and make them bigger. But yes, your operator is going to play into what you do as well.
And I know you don't want to say too much about this, but they keep asking, so we'll give a somewhat answer on this. Are the CB stats going to come into play with mech stats?
CB stats will start coming into play. We built them in the beginning to like future-proof ourselves, to make sure that we could have stats when, I mean, we've had this dream from day one, obviously, of making this a lot bigger than it was when we launched less than a year ago. So we built in stats, and the stats will definitely come into play on the missions for sure.
Okay, sorry, I was on mute there. We are an hour and 40 minutes in. I think maybe we should wrap up the official part. And then if people want to stick around, you know, and do an after party, we can certainly do that and talk more about, you know, a specific mech styles that people want to ask, you know, that type of stuff. So do we have any more? I'm looking at the last page here.
I'm sorry, I got a bone. I see your comments coming through from YouTube. So if you guys have things we didn't answer, I can probably pull those up and try to say anything. But I guess for like the official close, if you don't want to stick around for like another 10 or so minutes, I'm going to finish my Vita food. 1 second.
Yep, sorry about that.
It was my fault. I'm just so hungry. So I was just like, I'm extremely excited about everything we're building and you guys being here with us for this. Like, I know, like I said in the earlier of this stream, like we are going to start showing more as we build and really, really bring you guys on this journey and make the metaverse possible for you and bring it to life. I had a tweet earlier and I didn't mean to shade anyone, but I guess it kind of shaded. Maybe it was like my subconscious shading. I said that others promise you the universe and like we're bringing it to you, we're building it. And from day one, you guys have known that like I really believe in building the foundations of what we want this universe to be. I started creating crypto art when crypto art didn't exist. I was one of the very first artists creating crypto art, and it was before NFTs, before any of that. And it was because I was extremely passionate and because I wanted to work towards something that was much bigger than me. Crypto and Bitcoin and Ethereum and spreading that word, that was so much bigger than me. And I wanted to share that journey with everyone. And with CyberBrokers and this whole universe we're building, it's so much bigger than us and our team. And building for the metaverse means so much to us. And we're literally at this amazing point where we get to build the foundations of what that means. And we're doing that. We're doing that now with Mechs, and we're doing that with things that are coming out after this. So you guys can always count on us to have the most epic art out there. I know I'm biased, but I seriously think we have the best art in the space. And not just art. We're going to push boundaries with every single thing that we do, whether it be technical innovations, artistic, metaverse building, like all of these things we're going to continue to push. Where I like to say this, but like we are a small but mighty team. So yeah, that's all I want to say for closing on that. And I'm really excited for you guys to start seeing your mechs. I'm sorry about the image issue. We're going to fix it, but thank you guys for bearing with us on that.
Yeah, and I'll close with a couple reminders. You know, the 50 mech styles are available on the website. So if you go to the CyberBrokers website, go to the bottom, you'll see a mech style link that will show you all 50 styles that are available, including the rarity. Check out the resources page on the website as well. There's a mech section there, and that will get you, all the details on how we got here and Mech Reveal process. There's also a newsletter that came out at 2 p.m. that has more details specifically on Reveal. So make sure to check that out. And then lastly, now that we're on YouTube, we need to do this a little bit. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you've turned on all notifications. Now I feel like an advertisement. That we ready for after party?
Yeah, for after party, I was hoping that we could bring you guys up and reveal some parts, but since the images aren't quite working yet, we can bring people up and just chat if you'd like, Mike, the people that we already had sort of in the waiting room.
There's no one in the waiting room. We were just going to reveal in YouTube chat, but I see a bunch more questions here.
Yeah, let's go over them.
That'd be cool. I like this one.
When do we get to pop around and stomp shit? That I'm really excited. We're also, you guys probably just saw on Friday, we posted an AR filter, our first AR filter of the Bitcoin gas mask. We are going to start doing a lot more fun things in AR. It was like one of the earliest things that I did before NFTs. I was like, I want a way that my collectors can experience their art. And so I discovered Artivive app. I was like the first artist to bring that into this space. And I started creating animation, taught myself how to animate. I'm not the best animator at all, but I taught myself how to animate, put those animations up on an AR app, and like they could scan their shirts, scan their prints, see everything come to life. Like I'm really excited to get back into that, where we're going to be able to do some really fun, exciting things with our mechs. That's not just virtual worlds. I want to see people 3D print these. I want to see them do AR filters. I want to see the whole thing.
And specifically for their stomping thing, the moment they assemble, they have 3D files, and those 3D files can be used in a variety of places.
Yes, and we'll also put out an announcement of like the specific areas that we're working with that will be usable on day one. Of course, like if there's any world that you can upload your own asset, like for example, a VR chat, which is not NFT related, you can still be your mech there because you will have the file yourself. But we will make an announcement about official places as well. Yeah.
And so the official answer is on day one, you can go stomp shit. And we want to see the video of it, you doing it. I had a question, let me find it here, about parts trading. And I think it's a common question and we should probably answer that. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, sure. So trading parts, we know a lot of people are going to want to trade. It's something that we have thought about and something that we are trying to work on. It's not going to be ready today when you guys have your parts, but we are working on it. And if all goes well, it should in some form be usable before assembly. So we are working on it, but I can't make exact promises of when that will be. But we know you guys want to swap. We know you want a safe way to do it. Please do it in a safe way if you are doing that. But we have heard you, and now that we're out of the grind of the reveal, it's something that we're trying to help with.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, they've been asking, and it's so great to hear that we're going to get to that for them. Especially, now that they saw the 50 styles, what you get might not be exactly what you want, but you might find someone else that's like, well, I like yours, you like mine, let's go.
For sure.
Brianna, any other questions you're seeing here?
I see some comments on YouTube. Is mirrorware still going to be a thing? Love that comment. So as you guys know, mirrorware, like I had talked about it just really briefly at the beginning of CyberBrokers, and it was something that I wanted to start right after CyberBrokers. CyberBrokers, we became a lot, either I underestimated the amount of love and time that everything is going to take within CyberBrokers, but there's going to be a version of oh, sorry, I read another comment that was distracting. There's going to be a version of what mirrorware was going to bring to us within Drifters, but there will be a separate mirrorware in the future. It's just right now on a back burner as we're building the metaverse. So right now it's a little bit on the back burner. I will keep you guys posted there. Also, V-Ball said, love how Josie's so knowledgeable with the different mechs. Yeah, because we literally poured hours and hours. I project managed the mechs from the very beginning and have poured like an insane amount of hours into each and every mech. So like we've known and loved them for like a lot, for 8 or 9 months now. So yeah, I know a lot about the mechs, and I'll be in the Discord helping you guys come put them together if you need help. Oh yeah, I just saw another question come through about mech accessories. So we've mentioned mech accessories. So what we've said so far is that there are going to be missions. You can send your mech on missions, and you can collect resources from the different missions that you go on. Or there's also going to be a resource shop where you could just buy resources if you don't want to collect. And you need to be able to do something with those resources. One of the first things that you're going to be able to do with your resources is actually make mech accessories. So on our website, you guys have seen the chicka chicka boom boom which is like rocket with like the chicken on the end of it. Like that crazy madness of cool awesomeness is going to be like times 100, and we have a ton of really cool mech accessories that you guys will be able to actually craft yourself or buy yourself or whatever experience you want. So we're super excited about mech accessories.
I see a Brooke question in there. There we go.
Oh, in the...
Which mech artwork took the longest to produce?
So, to be honest, all the ones from the beginning took a lot longer because it took a long time to get in the right flow. It wasn't something that was automatic, especially for me. Like I didn't have when I was thinking about CyberBrokers, I was like, I know what I want CyberBrokers to look like. I want anyone to be able to represent themselves with one of them. I want them to have variety, fashion. Like I'm very into fashion. So I was like, it was very clear for me. I didn't play with large robots growing up or like see those types of shows. So like for me, it was definitely a challenge in getting a grasp of like what a mech should look like. And to be honest, a lot of the examples online looked like copy pastes of each other. They didn't have a ton of variety. So the earlier mechs were a lot harder and took a lot longer because it was a learning curve for me. And some of our favorite mechs didn't even take that long. One that that's standing out for me right now, one that did take a long time was Amalgam, the flowing mercury looking one with the orbs. Yep. That one took a long time to get right. I think it's up a little bit.
Let me see if I can find this
right
one.
there. That one took a long time, and I think Bharat said that was his favorite. Like, it really is an art piece in itself.
Yeah. And so tying back in the previous question, you're so knowledgeable about them because you're the driving creation behind them. I mean, is it fair to say?
For sure.
Yeah, but it's fair to say you've had your hands on almost all of these at one point or another.
Yeah, for sure.
I love the hands on this one. So kind of like the floating head. Yeah. You've got the floating hands.
Yeah, no, for sure. And this was these were really cool because we not only had my eyes on them, we also had our team's eyes on them, Sam's eyes on them, Glob's eyes on them. Glob works with a network of a ton of artists. So we got all of these artists' eyes on them, and the 2D artist was different from the modeling artist. So we really had so many people touch every step of these to make sure everything was perfect. Like, we literally, this one even, we were the first round and we were like, oh, we don't love the way that this part swirls on the head. Could it swirl like this? And we'd be on a call in Photoshop, literally fixing live the parts that we wanted to change colors or move this line or smooth out this part or make this part different. I was sending like photoshopped pictures of the Blade Runner with the like huge claw, like blade arm. At first, that was the blades were like on her forearms. Yeah, right. You just passed her.
Oh, I did?
Right on the right. Yep, Blade Runner right there.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking of the other one, the Enforcer version.
Her blades used to not be hands. They used to be on like her forearms, and I really wanted her hands to be super unique. So I'm like in Photoshop, like moving the blades, and we're talking about how like it's so funny. Fernando, he was like, okay, I'm just letting you know there may be some clipping when she like picks up an asset like in virtual worlds and stuff. And I was like, you have to sometimes push the boundaries, and like the clipping will fix itself later. So we got really, really funky and like pushed the boundaries as much as we possibly could. But the real challenges here is these parts still have to work with all the other parts. You have to be able to use these arms on a behemoth body, on a Fathom body, and you have to be able to have the legs of, the Duchess or an Oni King. Like, you have to be able to mix them. So that was definitely a challenge that I take my hat off to Glob and all their artists to help us figure that out for sure.
And I think the other thing, if you look at the beginning of the trailer, it like shows the computer screens with all the different parts, and there's like a wall, and those are almost like real pictures from your process.
They are.
Yeah.
All of them are. All of it. So the only thing I did was I put them on lined paper or like craft paper, but all of the writing, the circles pointing here with the arrows, all of that is literally from our Trello board together, of like all the edits and no, do this. So all of those sketches are actually real and directly from our working boards. Yeah.
And I like how that documented kind of the history of it too, because we internally know those things, but we need to tell people that's real. Everything you see there is actually real sketches and images of the process you all went through to create those.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I think maybe one more question and then we can wrap up at 2 hours. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
What was the first mech to be fully completed?
The first mech, I think I'll say the first two because I don't remember which one came first because it was so long ago, was the Forgotten Friend and the Neko-chan, I think is how you pronounce it.
Where's Forgotten?
So there's the Neko-chan right there, and then the Forgotten Friend.
What was the inspiration for this one?
So this one actually, these two were, I was working with that Ozma and I did together. So these two were by the direct first round of art was by myself and Ozma. The other ones, we had a ton of artists with Glob working on all of these different first rounds with us. So this one, these two were different. We were showing and concepting the way that we want mechs to be, the kind of variety we want. So I wanted two things that felt really different. I wanted something that was really organic, which you don't necessarily connect to a mech, with the Forgotten Friend. And then with this one, I was like, I want to do something cute. Like, I want to have something that is cute, like kawaii. This, our first thing, we were like, oh, let's call this one like kawaii. But we wanted something that felt, cute is the best word I can describe, because it's not even like, oh, we wanted something like girly or pretty. Like, we just wanted something that felt cute, because we wanted to push the boundaries and see how a mech could feel cute. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then the Forgotten Friend is, if you scroll,
where is it? There we go. Okay. It's going to be hard. Even I have trouble like finding the right one in these.
Yeah. And this one was super exciting. So I can show you guys in the Discord the first versions of even the 3D model, because it looked different. Like, the tree was a little skimpy. It kind of looked like a twig stuck out in his head. And then we were like, no, let's like amp up the tree. We wanted to really feel bonsai-like. We were sending pictures back and forth. Oh, like, we want mushrooms. We want the shelf mushrooms, the ones like coming out. We want these kind of mushrooms. These are the colors we want. We didn't have vines or anything on the first round of this mech. So we were like, bring like, you can see the vines across his torso, his arms, his legs. We're like, I basically said, I want this mech to look like it's been sitting on a forest floor and just stood up. So we have like this beautiful life and like organic nature on top of a steel mech, you know. So that was a really important and fun one to just show how we could push the boundaries with what a mech was.
Yeah, this one was one of the first ones I think you revealed to everyone as well, as far as like a preview. Yeah, yes. I love the walking garden approach. It's a mech. Okay, I think we can close out this segment, and maybe we'll just, if people want to hang, we can just go into Discord, and if people are seeing what they get in Reveal, happy to move the conversation there.
Awesome.
This was amazing, Josie. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this live thing, and marketing will thank you for doing the mukbang or mechbang, or they wanted me to do some dad joke about that, and I still don't understand the mukbang thing. But we need to do more of these. I think this new format works well, and the special guests, thank them for showing up as well.
Awesome. Also, I did get word that parts started showing up on OpenSea. Maybe just as we're closing out, you can start scrolling through those so people can see what this.
Yeah, let's take a quick look here.
And thank you guys. I echo everything that Mike said. We're creating magic together, and you guys are the consumers of it and helping us. We're constantly listening to you, hearing the feedback, and building. So nice.
Okay. You know what? Let's hang out for a minute then.
So this is the amalgam body.
Oh my God, perfect.
So you guys are going to start to see, obviously, all the cards are they're branded with clearly what they are. This is a lupus, tells you the stats. And like I said in the beginning, the stats don't have a number indicator. It's just the range of what they will for sure be. And then when you combine and actually make your final mech, you'll get your output, you'll get your stats at the end. And this is the range that they'll lay in. So yeah, these cards were really fun to design.
And it's Arctic again.
Oh, nice. Arctic. That's a good one.
Okay, so let's go take, it was a behemoth. Perfect.
Oh, the Arcane Guardian. That one was really cool. This like stone giant. And when you see his arms, he has like these like cool crystals on the arms and the legs. And it's just like, and the arms actually have like a floating stone. So that was a fun one to make.
Oh, it's cool to see the stats now. So, we're looking and we see a behemoth. So this particular part that was minted by Arctic, is maxed on power, has some speed, but little endurance. So these might vary by part and mint as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Which will be interesting. Let's see. There's an Enforcer, Astra. If you see one, want to look at BuildyBot?
It's funny that all the bodies are coming through first. Yeah, the body, the BuildyBot body. That one was fun. This BuildyBot, poor BuildyBot, went through a couple iterations because I wasn't obsessed. By the way, that's something with me, and my team's probably laughing on the back end. Like, if I'm not obsessed with it, I'm like, nope, we need to start over. And I keep telling myself, I know this isn't the right phrase, but it's how I say it. Like, don't make perfection the enemy of complete. But I, like, with collectibles and assets, like, I don't mess around. Like, I want the best thing out there. So we went to the drawing board a couple times with BuildyBot, and I'm so happy with where we landed on BuildyBot, and he's really cool.
Yeah, I really like it's such a fun one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else we got. There's a cami. Oh, there's some arms.
Yeah, that one is a chop.
Look at
That one is fun. That one has, like, basically it's like a junkyard mech. So it has, actually what's really fun is the foot has a can of high res on the foot, like in part of the mech. So the can that you just at the beginning, we have one of those cans in Chop Shop. So that's really fun that it's just like a mix of just like a junkyard mech. I could imagine that one, you know, in based world, because they call themselves Trashland, and this one's kind of made of trash, but in a fun way.
Now that people are starting to see these, they're commenting about how the frame itself is even artwork.
Yeah, the frame also went through a few iterations, but I'm really happy with where we landed to get the final one.
Let's see if we can find a head. Oh wait, we got to look at this one.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is one of my favorites too.
I love Fathom, and Fathom has to be our beefiest guy. He is a huge mech, or she, I just call him he, but he's huge. His head is actually much smaller, but this is his body, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously, it looks like it could be a head, but this is a body. And this one's super fun. Like, the textures that went into getting the coral, the starfish, the seaweed, everything right on this one was really, really fun. And I love the way Fathom turned out. And that one just feels totally outside of, I mean, a lot of them do, but it feels like just totally outside of our world. You know, it's not necessarily cyberpunk or anything, or, you know, neon or edgy. Like, it's very organic. Like I said,
Yeah.
we wanted the boundaries there. So I love that one.
Yeah, and for some reason it reminds me of the Forgotten Friend one as well.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Organic.
If you see one, let me know. We need some heads.
Yeah, we could sort by heads.
Arms. Oh, there you go. Good idea.
Oh, maybe not yet. We'll sort later by heads.
Yep.
They probably have to be like refreshed in its own, but that's okay. I think this is, you guys are like, I'm glad the images are starting to work, so you guys will see them pump through, and then we can probably take the rest of Discord and keep going through stuff.
Yeah. One last question here.
Sure.
This one, you mentioned the cockpit. Could you talk a little bit more? Okay. Of course, it's not going to load.
So the cockpit for that one is right in the center of the chest. It's sort of like that blackout. Yeah, that black area. So the purplish pink area underneath is where the engine color will shine through. So that will be the color of your engine. If it's a Nexus, Behemoth, Lupus, whatever it is, that will shine the color of what your mech is, and it will have the logo, the emblem there. And then the cockpit, which is that black area right above it, on assembly, cockpits are going to look a little bit different than they do on this card. They're going to be, the glass is going to be slightly transparent, and you're going to see literally like a cockpit. You're going to see a chair with two screens on your right and left when you're looking through that area. So it's really going to show you the scale of these, and you're going to see like where, obviously right now, I mean, in the future it'd be epic. You're not going to be able to see your CyberBroker sitting in there in virtual worlds, but in the missions, you'll know exactly where they're going inside of that cockpit.
Awesome. Okay, let's wrap up the after party, and we'll go over to Discord and hang out for a little bit. This was awesome. I think everyone's really happy with Mech Part Reveal and seeing the next step. And we've been waiting. How excited are you that we're finally here?
I'm so excited. Like I said, we've been working on this for so long, and I cannot wait until you guys can assemble, customize exactly what you want, and then be able to use these, play with these, whatever you want. And I cannot wait to see the community content creation that comes out of having an asset that's so versatile. And you don't even have to be technical to know what to do with it. You can walk around in it, and it's as simple as that. So I can't wait. I'm beyond excited. And I love hearing everyone's thoughts about all the different styles and your favorites. So please tweet them, Discord them, whatever. We want to hear what you guys like. And assembly will start in February. So in February is when you're going to be able to assemble all of your mechs. There's some really fun naming mechanisms that we've built, and you'll be able to see the whole experience of the Snap Shack, which is where you will be snapping all of your parts together. So I'm super pumped for that.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you guys. Bye.